No matter how well you design a dashboard, if you do not have good quality data, you are going to get nothing out of it. So what happens is most of the companies these days, they are struggling with their data capture process, data quality.
So just right here, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello and welcome to Coffee and Conversation. I'm your host Shashank Bengali, and I'm joined today by Dr. Rita Chakravarti. She is the chief of the MTech Enterprise Business Analytics Program. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Shashank, for inviting me.
Now, Rita, you're deeply experienced. You have 25 plus years of experience in using analytics across business and financial services. Tell us a bit about the ways in which analytics can be used in these fields. What are the applications?
One is doing things much faster than what with normal knowledge you will be doing. Automation. When you want to do automation, these days we are talking about automation everywhere. When you are doing automation, it's the analytics models. They play a fundamental part because they are embedded, and using those models, you can do automation. So these are the areas. Then visualization. In olden days, looking at normal charts, it was good enough. What you need is these days very smart charts, real life. That means they are changing on the fly. The world is becoming extremely competitive. So all these areas are good.
And for data visualization, every industry, every enterprise from media to corporate sector has to use this. What are the challenges to using using automation in the way you're describing, and what are the benefits?
These days, when you do visualization, you use different tools like ClickView, Tableau, etc., etc. There isn't enough people available who are trained in these areas. So basically, all the main challenge is trained professional. So even though the industry they want to run, what pulls them back is the trained professionals.
And when you're talking about data visualization, often this appears on dashboards. And so a big issue is quality of dashboards and how to improve the speed with which they can process and present data. Can you talk a bit about that?
See, dashboards, at the bottom of it, the raw material is data. Okay, and we all know garbage in, garbage out. No matter how well you design a dashboard, if you do not have good quality data, you are going to get nothing out of it. So what happens is most of the companies these days, they are struggling with their data capture process, data quality. I have worked for an organization, which is Citibank, where I joined them about 20 years ago. Then at that time, the data came on a platter. The reason being, this is an organization which is US based, and they have been investing many more years prior to that. And in analytics, there are some certain software that you use, which typically used to be, proprietary software, and only big houses could use them. Now with our Tableau, which are open source software, not our Tableau, our Python. With those open source softwares, you can do these things, all you need is a trained professional. You don't pay anything for the software. So these things has reached the common people in a way. All companies start with startups to, business houses. They can all do these things with open source software.
And of course, now every company is collecting data in ways they never did before. So it's not a question of not having the data. It's a question of asking the right questions and teasing out the right information. So that, again, I imagine comes with having the skilled professionals you're talking about.
That's right. So it's not there is enough data, but data cleaning is something you need to do. Like, when you are getting the data from the web, streams, etc., there is a lot of noise in the data. So when you are creating a dashboard, if you do not do the cleaning part, that becomes a challenge. So when it comes to trained professionals, these things needs to be done with trained people. Many times the challenges lies with the mindset of the people, because somebody who wants to become a data scientist, sometimes they think data cleaning is a low-level job. Whereas I myself, being a professional all my career, whenever I have built a model, I have done the data cleaning myself. because I understand the business, I know all the techniques, I know the nuances of the requirement, so I cannot give that to somebody else.
And as you say, garbage in, garbage out. So if you have the wrong data or too much noise, you're not going to have a useful product.
Yeah, and the KPIs you are talking about, what is, these days you will be hearing this terminology, storytelling. So with the data, dashboard basically is a tool to do storytelling. So when you are doing this storytelling, what story are you looking for, or which story will attract management's attention?